Eddie, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's trying to turn pro now through the numerous Devo teams that there are now?
I think the main thing would be just be consistent. Just be consistent with your training. Listen to whoever your coach is, whoever like your team managers are and stuff like that. Listen to all the advice they have. And also just like enjoy the whole experience of kind of getting the chance to turn pro. I think that was one thing I look back at now, whereas I was I was probably serious about it, and a lot of the guys on the Devo team that would there as well, like Axel's team, I was on there for 2 years, and we were very serious, I felt anyway, and maybe just didn't enjoy it as much as we probably should have. And I think it's the case for a lot of younger guys coming through now. It's like they're very serious with everything they do, from nutrition, training, and yeah, you kind of you might go off track and lose the human side of it a small bit, whereas just enjoy the whole process, because sometimes your career is short and it passes by before you know it. And leading on from that, how were your first couple of years as a pro, and how did you find the transition from under 23 to the pros? I found it quite good actually. I went to Aqua Blue for a year, Pro Conti team, so that was like a nice stepping stone. Got to do some cool races, went in a lot of breakaways, and took opportunities when they came as well. That was nice. There wasn't too much pressure either that year. And then from going to Aqua Blue onto Team Sky, you could see a massive step up there, and again, going back to everything, it's a bit more dialed in with your training, your nutrition, and you can just see like it was just a nice gradual build up from Conti level, Pro Conti, and then up to World Tour, and yeah, it was a nice smooth transition, and as I said, the seriousness of it just increased bit by bit, but all in all, it was pretty good.
Was there anything that you were kind of expecting that didn't go the way you thought it would? Like, was there anything that shocked you when you turned pro?
There was nothing like that stands out really, but if I had to pick one thing, it was, I guess, as a younger person, when you're surrounded by like more experienced riders, it was like, yeah, you go in with the attitude like that, oh, you have to train hard all the time. Everything is like, if you have 6 hours to do, you go out and you do 6 hours, but you have to do it flat out or whatever. But one thing I learned pretty quick from some experienced riders was like, that it was like, when they train easy, and when they need to train hard, they train hard. It wasn't like all the time intense, and that was something that, yeah, I noticed pretty quick from some good riders, and yeah, something that kind of stuck with me.
Have you got any advice for any tips on how to get through races like Grand Tours and week-long stage races, long one days? Is there anything that you've learned over the years that, say, has helped you?
Yeah, I think the main thing I take from, well, doing my first Grand Tour, which was the Giro 2019, was just control what you can control. I mean, you can prep for it and do all the training in the world, but when you get to the race, literally all you can do is recover as best as you can. So like, that's in the morning, make sure you eat enough. Before the race you eat enough, in the race you eat enough, do your job in the race that you're told to do, and then after, again, control everything you can in terms of recovery, so eating enough, recovery boots, massage, physio if there's one there. Just use all the tools that are around you to be the best you can the next day. As I said, if that's from a nutrition point of view, massage, physio, whatever it is, that's all stuff you can control, so just do that every day, and after that, the road kind of takes care of the rest.
Yeah. Have you got any items or anything that you like that is part of your daily routine on a race that you find has become a staple in your career?
I don't bring anything with me, but I'm someone, I stretch quite a bit, so whenever I'm at a race or in a Grand Tour, I get a bit, maybe not lazy, but I go to the physio, so I get them to
help me with stretching and stuff, so it's just another thing that you can just get an extra bit out of it. And then one thing on race, especially in stage racing, I do is recovery boots. I don't do it in training, but in a race I always think if it just makes a couple of % difference, it's worth doing every night, and it only takes 30 minutes. And I think it does actually make a big difference once you keep consistent with it and do it in a race for sure.
Yeah, and what's your main piece of advice to someone who's maybe on the verge of turning pro, just looking for that extra 1 or 2% just to get that contract over the line? How would you advise someone to go about that process?
I think if you're on the verge of turning pro, you've obviously done something right. So I would just say again, just keep doing what you've been doing, and because the fact, again, people have noticed that, and if there are people talking to you about being a pro, then you and the people around you are clearly doing something right. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, and again, just enjoy the chance of possibly of it being your job, if that's what you want, you know. Because at the end of the day, if you really want it, yeah, it'll show through and people will come after you.